It's tightening a mic. In the early 90s, I was in a bar in Chicago, and I turned around to be greeted by the most stunningly beautiful, tall, leggy blonde I had ever seen. She said, "Hi, my name is Lisa. What's your name?" I recognized her immediately because her face was on signs, on posts, in front yards of single-family households all across my neighborhood. I introduced myself, and we got to talking, and because my mother taught me that the most important person in the room is the person to whom you're talking to, I asked a lot of questions. The more questions I asked, the more answers I got. The more answers I got, the more I liked Lisa. We had so much in common. She liked crossword puzzles. I loved them. My grandfather had taught me to love crossword puzzles as a child. He taught me that the structure of the clue was just as important as the clue itself. And sometimes he'd get upset with me and say, "Son, if you don't have the courage to do it in pen, don't do it at all." She was a dog lover. She had 2 small schnauzers. I had a Siberian husky. She actually laughed genuinely when I teased her playfully about the fact that I understood that she needed the 2 small dogs because between them, they equaled 1 real dog. She was a Cubs fan, as was I. We were from the north side. I was surprised to learn how important that piece of information was to me. Like, I would love to tell you, had she told me she was from the south side and liked the White Sox, that would have been okay with me, but that's just a lie. This was like 5 years after they installed lights at Wrigley Field, and we both thought that was a travesty. She said, "Baseball needs to get played outdoors during the day, under a hot sun with a cold beer and a lukewarm excuse as to why you were missing work." And she told me she liked cut flowers better than potted plants. I found that an odd thing to have a preference about. But then she said, with a cut flower, you can change the mood of a room in an instant. And I loved that. It was finally last call, and I walked her to her car. And when we got there, she grabbed my face with both hands. Her pinkies were underneath my ears, her thumbs were on my cheeks, and she looked me right in the eye with that look that says everything, and she kissed me. It was all at once soft and firm and deliberate, but apprehensive and sweet and savory and delicious. It was knee crumbling. I liked it. I liked it a lot. And so we did it a lot. And finally, there were only 2 cars left in the parking lot. And as she drove away in hers, I realized I didn't get her phone number. It's okay, because her face was on signs, on posts, and front yards of single families. So that weekend I was walking on air. I called my parents. I said, "I think I found the one." I devised this grand gesture to woo her, finally and completely, the kind of things that I had fantasized about telling our grandkids about eventually. And on Monday morning, I put that grand gesture into play. I stopped by her office, and I left her a card that said, "The pleasure of meeting you on Friday night was mine. I can't wait to see you again." And on Tuesday, I left her a bouquet of fresh-cut flowers, the little note that read, "Thank you for changing the mood of my room." And on Wednesday, Cubs tickets. The game was the following week. I asked her to RSVP by Sunday, had some things to plan. On Thursday, I invited her and her 2 small dogs to come to the dog park on Saturday with me and mine. And on Friday, the best thing I had ever done, I left her a handmade, personalized crossword puzzle. And when she figured out the answers, it read a sentence that said, "Would you like to have dinner with me?" And it featured fantastic clues like arc material, in parentheses, sp.var. End of parentheses, which is wood with a spelling variation. But on Saturday morning, she didn't show up at the dog park. And on Sunday, she didn't RSVP for the Cubs game. And by Monday, I started to worry that maybe she was one of those, like, dead people that come into your life to teach you a lesson. And, like, eventually her mother was going to tell me, "Oh, sweetheart, she's been dead since 1972. So on Tuesday, I went back to the realtor's office, and as I drove up out front, she came out the front door. She was not dead. She came across the street, she looked me right in the eye, and she said, "Hi, Rick. I have clients inside that can see me, so I have to be really professional." but I've been on vacation for 10 days, and what I walked into this morning makes me think that you're a psycho, and I don't want to be killed. I'm afraid, and I've called the police, and I never want you to contact me again." And then she turned around and walked back in, and I never saw her again. I never made another grand gesture like that again. Thanks.